That's a Tasmanian tiger snake.
Yeah, that'll...
They're f***ing deadly, mate. Although they're black and they look like a black snake, it's actually a tiger snake.
Yeah. With black stripes on their belly.
Enjoy that?
That's deadly. My opinion of him just changed. I was thinking, you know, like, you can't go back in there. That's too, and I was like, that doesn't look too bad. But now after he picked up that snake like that, I was like, maybe I don't want to listen to him.
Welcome to the Southern Hemisphere, the home of the Southern Cross, and devils and tigers and gold. Welcome to Tasmania, the great outdoors. Welcome to Gold Fever and welcome to Tasmania. My name's Tom Massey and we've come down here to visit with Marcos Ambrose, the big-time NASCAR Sprint Cup driver, and he's doing a little bit of media attention here in his hometown, and we're going to be touring all through this island looking for a little bit of that yellow metal gold.
I first met up with Marcos at the hometown of NASCAR in Charlotte, North Carolina at one of the GPAA gold shows. And if you go to Marcos's website, you'll see that gold prospecting is listed as one of his hobbies. And when Marcos invited us to go down under and prospect for gold with him in Tasmania, I jumped on it. The first place we went was a gold mining museum in Marcos's hometown. One of the things that struck me as interesting at the museum was a story about two miners that were trapped underground for 14 days in a cave-in.
I traded my job in as a on-the-face miner to be in the infrastructure. So I was just doing the air, the water, the pumping. It was a really good job because you had something to do every day. Because mining's a bit methodical. You sort of go in there, it's very routinal. You know, you're sort of going in, you're doing the same stuff every day, and you get a little bit complacent. And I think that's where half the accidents come from, is complacency. And what had happened was, the stope got too big. They mined it too far before they backfilled it. So what they thought, righto, well, what we'll do is we'll fill it with sand and cement, right, to fill this cavern up. And then bang, this big crack and this huge wind blast, you know, come from behind us. And it knocked me over into the corner of the basket there, like drove me back into the corner. Todd was blowing back, but he got folded back over because the blast was on his side of the machine, right? So even though I was a bit protected by the boom. And next minute, like I've woken up and I'm hearing Todd going, Brant, you know. I thought, oh man, you know, this is bad, this is really bad, this is a cave-in, a proper one, you know. 14 days it took us to get us out. We got found, I think, on the fourth day. We got found, and on the fifth day we got some water, and then we had to wait till about the seventh day before we actually got a feed. Todd and I didn't actually think we were going to get out because it's never been done before how they got us out. Meanwhile, on the first day, I decided I was getting out of there, you know. I dug this tunnel, you know, it was nearly probably double the size of me and a bit more. Anyway, I dug this little tunnel and squeezed up in this tunnel. Anyway, I went back and I hit mesh. A piece of mesh had got folded up. Yeah, and in 14 days' time, they actually broke a little hole through and we got out. Apparently about 3 days later, it fell in. So yeah, we're pretty lucky guys.
Lucky guys indeed. Underground mining is dangerous stuff. seems like every 6 months or so we're reading or seeing a story about some miners killed in a cave-in or a blast. But the wheels of industry keep on rolling. It's a long ways down to Tasmania from anywhere. It's the land down under the land down under. But we had ourselves a good guide who knew the right tools that you need for prospecting in Tasmania.
Yeah, let's get some supplies. You think it's gonna fit? We've got our crucial supplies, now we're ready to hit the bush.
A prospector's the happiest when he's on the pursuit of a hot bay streak with a good prospect of finding it. We sampled the local color and hooked up with some local bushmen. Richard, Shorty, and the head geologist of the Tasmanian government, Ralph. I knew there was gold in them there creeks, but I didn't know how much gold there was in the hearts of the Tasmanians. After signing a few autographs, it was time to head out in the hills and look for a little bit of that yellow.
Hey Tom, we're just hiking here at Montezuma Falls. We're going into the bush. Pretty hard slog for your feet, so I bought you a pair of Tasmanian Bluntsons to wear. Hopefully look after your feet.
Ah, well, if that's what the Tasmanians wear, it ought to be pretty good out here in the deep bush. We'll give it a go. Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to find some gold. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, hi-ho, 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 hi-ho.
Armed with metal detectors, gold pans, picks, and shovels, we were after that big one. Australia's been known for its large, boulder-sized nuggets.
Can you come and give me a hand?
When Marcos got a signal, I was thinking this is just the kind of place to find one of those lumps of gold.
What do you think it is?
It's a target.
Something steel?
We were definitely not leaving this spot without finding that target.
Whenever they're that strong for me, it's normally like an old fence post. Something big and steel. I'm never that lucky.
Strong, really strong. It's really hard packed down in there.
That could be it.
Axe handle.
Axe?
Axe handle.
That is too.
It's an old axe.
Well,
That's not bad. I mean, you know, it's a
real
an
old one.
piece of tool.
Real old one.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of the wood left in there.
Yeah, there's wood left in there. You probably dig that wood out of there and sharpen it up and make use of it. There you go. Congratulations.
That weighs too much to take up that hill, so I'm going to leave it here for the way down.
Hey.
Win some, you lose some, right?
Yeah.
Tasmania has some of the thickest bush I've seen anywhere, and it's full of snakes, leeches, and spiders.
I gotta go see the spider. I gotta see the spider that big. How far back is he?
Yeah. I was to hang that belly on.
Whoa. Holy cow, look at the size of that one. Good cranky, look at the size of that spider.
Crikey, Laura.
Looking at that one, man. Holy cow, man. Give you the wheelies, you know? Give you the heebie-jeebies.
Richard was the first one to strike gold, working a crack in bedrock. A nice pennyweight-sized piece.
But because it's come out of the deep lead, it's had a good flogging before it got into this creek.
I want one.
Now you get out of my hole, Tom.
Yeah, now that he's in the good spot.
Can I have a look at your prospector's licence, please, mate?
Gold. It has lured adventurers and dreamers for centuries. Its glimmer speaks of fortunes and unexplored frontiers. Imagine if you could be part of this grand adventure. Imagine if you could seek out your own fortune. With the Gold Prospectors Association of America, you can. When you join our ranks, you become part of a community that shares your passion for prospecting. You gain access to resources, expert guides, and exclusive claims. Whether you're a seasoned prospector or just starting out, our association offers a wealth of knowledge and opportunities. We host exciting events, offer education and training, and provide tools to help you strike gold. But it's not just about the gold. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the friendships forged along the way. So, are you ready to embark on your own gold prospecting adventure? Your journey starts here.
And you just want to work this tiny cracks, and if you can break apart the cracks, the better. See how that crack just goes like, just right on down, and you'd think you look at it here on the surface and it just goes like right here, but then you start digging in it and you find it just keeps going down and down, and that gold will work its way right on down to the bottom, and then you start pulling out some of this mud and stuff that's just wedged down in there, and then you know you're working in ground that's kind of tight and compacted in those pieces, and it's hard going. You want to make sure and scrape the walls because the gold likes to slide down the side of the wall, and then it gets stuck in there from time to time, and make sure and clean those walls out. But it's not very much material, just a little bit of material, but that's where that gold can work its way down there in the bottoms of these cracks and around the bedrock. So it's important to pay attention to the nooks and crannies in the bedrock. Hold on a minute, Marcos, before you do that pan. I know a lot of viewers out there want to hear some of your NASCAR stories, me included. How did you get started in NASCAR?
Well, it was pretty recently, really. I've been a fan of racing all my life. Coming from Tasmania, it's an awful long way from North America. But, you know, I had an interest in racing. I followed NASCAR, I followed the Formula One style cars. And as my racing grew into a profession, it wasn't really anything that was a master plan, it just kind of happened. My interest in NASCAR just kept growing, and I went over in 2003 as a fan to Bristol, camped up on the hill like everybody else and watched the race and just completely fell in love with it. Never thought for one moment I'd get a chance to drive one or race one, but you know, just started making phone calls, came across to America for a holiday, and got lucky, met a team owner that was willing to give me a shot, and here I am.
How does a guy go from like the back of the pack and then you know, go all the way up through the front and then get put back in the back of the pack and make it all the way back up through the front again?
Well, Jimmy Johnson does it better than I can, so I'm still learning, but it's a challenge. Driving cars at 200 mile an hour plus, I mean, it's not for everybody. It's a tough sport. You put your life on the line. You're right on the edge of disaster every lap, and it's a battle between, you know, very highly skilled drivers out there, and the 43, the best drivers in the world every Sunday, race and sprint cup, and you've got to be on your game. There's just nowhere to hide if you're having a bad day, and you just got to stay aggressive all day. It's really the most aggressive form of racing I've ever done, and you just push yourself and the car to the very edge. And to be honest with you, when I first got in those cars, I wasn't good enough. You know, I just had to go that next level. You know, I'm getting beaten, getting lapped every week, and it just takes a lot of commitment. And you know, I've learned enough, I think, to challenge at the front. I haven't learned enough to win yet at the Sprint Cup level, but hopefully that'll come soon.
You know, I understand the prospecting and the love for it. You know, I think we share that gold fever, and you know, just seeing your, you know, home state here at Tasmania and all the gold history and all the gold that is out here, you know, I totally understand that, but it just amazes me, you know, that NASCAR circuit, you know, and all the good old boys, and here's this guy, you know, another good old boy, but he's from Tasmania, and you know, you're at that level of just, you know, the top 20 best drivers in the world.
Well, that's why exactly the reason I come out here. It's a chance to just be normal. You know, I'm a normal guy. I mean, I grew up in the scrub, running around, getting my hands dirty, just being an average, everyday guy. And all of a sudden, you know, I'm at this level that, you know, you can get swept away in it. I mean,
just an average, ordinary guy that drives a car like a devil. Like a Tasmanian devil. Well, enough jawboning away. Let's get to panning out the diggings. Yeah, quite a bit of clay in this stuff. You get down into the bottoms of it. Yeah, look at that conglomerate on there. So what's your worst crash out there?
I've been really lucky, actually. You know, I try to make it back in one piece every week, but you know, you live in a world where accidents do happen, and you know, I've been knocked out a couple of times and been on fire a couple of times, but I've actually never been upside down in a race car yet. So I know I haven't had my last crash, that's for sure. But you know, I don't race with the crashes. I race with the wins. So you know, I try not to think about the crashes I've had too much.
Yeah, well, you see those guys, you know, and they flip upside down and the car goes all sideways and smashes into the wall and rolls about 5 times, and they pop out and want to throw their helmet and beat up the guy who just, you know, put them into the wall, and they're all, you know, most people be on their way to the hospital, you know, or just thinking, you know, down on their knees, kissing the ground that they're still alive, but, you know, not you NASCAR guys, you know.
No, the first thing we do when we're crashing is trying to work out how we can get it in first gear and get going again, even if we've got 2 or 3 wheels taken off the car. But
woo! Gold! I got some pieces. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 good-sized pieces. Chunky yellow gold. You got gold in Tasmania. So we going down to have some crayfish?
Let's go down and get some food, mate. I'm getting really hungry.
Yeah.
Fish, big Tasmanian crayfish. A bit like a lobster, a bit like a crab, mix the two together. They're really great.
Well, the
delicacy.
The crayfish that I know is they're kind of call them crawdads, you know, and they kind of skip along. They look like a little miniature lobster. Are they freshwater or saltwater?
They're saltwater, and they're just like an oversized lobster. They don't have any claws, but they've just got tentacles, and they've just got a big, you know, shell and big tail. When they move in the water, they actually move backwards.
Yeah, and I heard that they're real tasty.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, don't shy too far away from the dinner table. You can call me whatever you want, just don't call me late for dinner.
Well, we're down here on the wharf at Strawn. Strawn is pretty much the only port here on the west coast. During the mining days is where they brought all the gear in and out. got all the oars away, got all the stuff in to make the mines. But we're down here tonight to give my friend Trip, who's been on the tour the whole time here this week, a sample of Tasmania's finest seafood. It's called a crayfish. It's our version of your lobster. Now it's a little bigger and it tastes a cross between, you know, king crab from Alaska and the standard rock lobster. So we've got our friend here, Mad Dog, who is the owner of this boat, and he's been out crayfishing for us. And he looks like he's been fishing pretty hard, but he's got a crayfish just for us. Hey, Mad Dog.
Oh, Marcus.
How are you,
Good
mate?
to see you, mate.
Good to see you.
Well done, mate. You're lucky we're unloading in the morning because I got one of the little suckers down here. Red gold, mate. If you'll bear with me for a moment, please don't look because they're a little bit touchy and they get a little bit excited. Get the one out of the kitchen. Cut that and get the one out of the kitchen if you're not. I've broken up.
So clearly things aren't quite going to plan here for Mad Dog, but we've got one that we prepared earlier, ready for Trip to have a taste on.
Sorry, mate. I told you they're a little bit touchy and it just didn't go to plan. And I know you're busy. So, my wife's got one that we're about to have to taste. So if you wouldn't be offended, it's red gold. And there she is all ready to go. My wife will go in and just knock you up the premium food from the west coast of Tasmania, mate.
All right, we'll get it ready to eat. So we're down here inside Mad Dog's boat getting this crayfish ready to eat. You pretty much just put them in a boiling pot, boil them up real quick.
There, the boiling pot there.
Great, so you boil them up in a pot and pretty much a couple of minutes in the pot they're ready to eat. And that is the back end of the crayfish ready to eat.
Well,
Sometimes a little bit of lemon, but pretty much just straight in and go.
straight in and go.
All right, mate, yep, squeeze a little bit of lemon on there for us. Just like yay.
Butter yourself.
Yep. Drop it in the seafood sauce if you wish.
Oh,
this is going to be lovely. It's got a texture that's like a lot firmer than a lobster, almost like a chicken texture. But when they're fresh, they got a lot of flavour.
That's fantastic.
Very good.
And
they're really easy to eat.
Right there.
you don't even need
Finger
to
looking good.
Yeah, you
Right
don't
there.
need
And
Thank
I
you.
have a favourite, Mark, to ask you,
Sure.
Marcus.
some.
What are you doing?
Right across the shoulders, Marcus Ambrose. Then next year, I'll get that inked in, and next year you're coming back and putting on 2010 NASCAR champion,
Go.
mate.
Go.
Hang on. Which shoulder would you like it on? You want me to hang on, hang
Right
on.
across.
Let me get it straight. You want me to sign your back?
Yeah.
So you can go and get it tattooed.
Yes. But I probably won't. But it's a bit of bull, you know. But if you win the championship next year, you can re-bloody sign it and come back and do it.
Well,
And you should.
I'm going to come back next year to see if you've done it or not. I'm not saying you should, but I'm just going to check.
Go for it.
Righto. Well, I've signed a lot of autographs in my day, but not too many turn into a tattoo. So we'll see if Mad Dog's good for his word.
That could turn into a tattoo.
Well,
More to the point, let's see if you can just lift your game a smidgen and win that damn championship.
thanks, Mad Dog. Appreciate the crayfish.
My pleasure, mate.
Come on, let's go, Pat.
Fantastic. It was worth it. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Well, it was good.
And enjoy.
That was something else on the trip.
Fantastic. It was worth the 11,000 mile flight.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to get a great night's sleep because we've been running really hard today. We're going to wake up tomorrow morning, we're going to go panning, we're going to find some of that great yellow gold. Come on, let's go.
Let's go up here and talk with the guys that led us out here. Pretty interesting characters. Really know the country around here.
It was time to venture underground into a tin/gold mine.
That's a Tasmanian tiger snake.
Yeah, that looks
They're deadly, mate. Although they're black and they look like a black snake, it's actually a tiger snake.
Yeah. With black stripes on their belly.
Enjoy that?
That's deadly. My opinion of him just changed. I was thinking, you know, like, you can't go back in there. That's too, and I was like, that doesn't look too bad. But now after he picked up that snake like that, I was like, maybe I don't want to listen to him.
You got it? Cut it back. Yeah!
When there's a will, there's a way. Never let it be said that Tasmania isn't wild and woolly.
I don't know about this, Tom.
It's fine, mate. It's very,
Feel that air coming out?
very
Yeah.
solid in
Feel the
here.
air? That's important. When you feel that air, that's airflow.
Right.
And so, you know, I've been in some places like this, and the air coming out will just knock your hat off. It's blowing that hard.
Really?
Because you got such a large system inside there, and you got such cool air, and then on a hot day on the outside, it's just coming out.
You know, this is one of the safest ground condition mines you could ever go in the winter. It's just perfect.
Right.
Very hard rock, very solid.
Ain't none of them so safe.
None of them are safe. You've still got to take all the precautions. Never step on timber, and always keep an eye out above you and don't walk under anything that looks a bit suspicious. You never step on timber because quite often old
There's a big hole
risers
under
that
it.
go down to the next level with timber off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that timber will be rotten.
Go and have a look.
Well, I wouldn't mind jumping back in my race car and strapping in for 200-mile-an-hour action over this, but I'll give it a go.
That's the way.
You never want to venture underground unless you're experienced and prepared. There's been many a life lost in these old underground mines.
Aren't you meant to wear a safety hat or something, Tom?
Supposed to, yeah. I want to introduce everybody that we got back in here, just so you know who they are. There's Trip. Shorty, you already met outside. Marcos. That's Ralph and Richard down there. They just keep on a-rolling. Probably drove that down there for air supply to get good ventilation inside here. And that's a smart thing to do.
This mine was huge. It operated for over 50 years. And inside was a vertical shaft that ran over a half a mile straight down.
That's a Tasmanian hole there. There's probably many. It looks like there's another level up there. Wow, pretty impressive. Chucking one off. Boy, this rock is all cemented together.
That's enough fun for one tunnel.
I like the sound it makes. All of a sudden, knock it off up there!
That's the black hole of Tasmania.
You were saying earlier, Marcos, that one of your relatives worked at the mine
My
here?
grandfather worked at the Savage River mine just about 5 miles down the road here. He was actually a boilermaker welder, so he was up top, you know, making stuff for him, deep down there. So he never went down in the mines, but he was working on the machinery that was servicing and building the mine and getting all the ore out. So I think anyone who's grown up in the state has been touched by mineral wealth at some stage, whether a relative worked in it or they knew people that were. So Tasmania's been pretty much built on mineral wealth.
You want to go over and check out that mine?
I want to find some gold, mate. That's what I want to do, and check out that mine. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I want to get out of here, to be honest with you. I've had enough of this stuff.
The mineralization inside this mine was incredible, but unfortunately, no gold. It's always exciting when you enter into the mine, but that fresh air sure does feel good when you come out too.
Kind of like being reborn again there, coming out of the earth.
My first underground experience. Give me a high five.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Back out into the bush. Shorty took us to his secret spot where he used to poach hue and pine. He guaranteed us that we'd find gold out here. Guaranteed gold. Yeah.
Well, me and Shorty, we come down here with the girls, and we're doing a little bit of digging. We found just enough water to get our sluice in to start running, and everybody else is kind of set up in different places. Marcos and Richard and Ralph are back down the creek working in different places in the bedrock, and we're just all out here on this little creek doing a little bit of digging and seeing if we can't come up with some color and having a lot of fun. It's really beautiful out here.
How it's done, Shorty.
Finding gold is a lot of fun, but what makes it even better is spending some quality time with your fellow prospectors.
Kind of how I got into the whole prospecting thing was just an excuse really, just to get away, get in the mountains for a while, get in the forest for a while, for what Australians call the bush down here, and that's all it's about right now. You're just really not thinking about much. You just digging in a creek and trying to find a little bit of yellow gold. It's just a great way to really switch off, and I like the history of it too. It's something that I can really research and read about and think about and come up with a plan. I'm in the creek today. It's my first time here, and I'm looking at what it looks like and what I need to do, what I need to bring back to have a better go at it. So I like to think about something different for a while. Racing's great, but it can be all-consuming too.
There's gold and it's haunting and haunting. It's luring me on as of old. But yet, not so much the gold that I'm wanting, but just finding the gold. 1,000 miles from nowhere, but that's just where I'd rather be.
I'm gonna try and wash that grassroots stuff so you don't send that stuff down your sluice box, but it kind of works as a carpet out here to trap the gold in it.
Gold prospecting is not an exact science. Sometimes it just comes down to trial and error. And if you don't succeed the first time, try again.
A whole lot of nothing.
That's right. There's plenty more to go through.
As with everything in life, it definitely helps if you're lucky.
Not too much.
You could probably pan this backpack out and find a ton of gold.
You got that right.
Want to try it?
Try it.
Gold has a funny way of collecting itself up in some pretty odd locations. I'll bet you'd find pretty good gold sweeping out the bed of my truck, the floorboards, or even the socks inside my boots. Why, heck, Cindy even panned out my bathtub water one time. And yep, there was gold in it.
Yeah?
Oh, lots of. Oh, yeah, look at that piece.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's a few pieces there. You see it?
Yep.
There's
One, two, three.
There's a couple here. Find more gold in Tom Massey's backpack than we do in the dirt here.
How long you been mining, Shorty?
Well, I worked for the mines department as an inspector for 18 years. Pretty well all my life I've been involved with mining, mainly with shot firing. That's sort of my background is shot firing.
Doing dynamite and blasting.
Yeah.
Running det cord and fuse and.
Yep.
So what do you like about this prospecting? What gives you a flavor for that?
Just been out in the bush, I think, more than anything.
Yeah.
Peace and quiet. No motor vehicles. No neighbours. When you get sick of it, you shift somewhere else. You're not tied to one spot. So you've got plenty of scope, especially in Tasmania and Tasmania's west coast. You can spend a month and not go any more than 20 kilometres.
How do you know Richard?
I got to know Richard through work. Richard holds a couple of mining leases, and being that I was the mines inspector, he had to deal with me. I was sort of the bum kicker.
Yeah?
Yeah, covering the environmental side of things. And
so Richard is a stand-up guy?
No, not really. No, I wouldn't call it behind his back. No, he's not too bad.
I don't know. When we reached down there and grabbed that snake, I changed my opinion of Richard.
Did you?
Yeah, it was right then and there. I was like, my opinion of him changed.
But that was only a small snake.
Yeah, well.
You don't see him grabbing too many 6-footers.
Yeah, well, it seemed like you two get along pretty good in cantankerous ways. And, you know, just traveling around out here in the bush, I could tell you guys have been out here a lot and you really love it.
Oh, yeah. Best place in the world. You can find somewhere better. I'll shift there tomorrow. Yeah. So, where am I going?
Yeah, well, you'll see me here forever now. Tasmania. Welcome to the Arcadia. The Arcadia has seen some action in World War II up in New Guinea as a supply ship. And we're going up the Pieman River, named after a guy, made pies and was a convict, like a lot of convicts that came here into Tasmania and was down in Strawn and escaped down there with 3 other mates and came up this way, and they eventually caught up to him, but he ate his mates. He ate all 3 of them and had just 1 leg left, and they caught up to him and was eating them cannibal up in here. And so I guess he did it again, and they eventually hung him down in Hobart. And now we're heading on this river. There's a lot of gold mining traffic back during the gold rush up to the town of Carina and see if we can hook up with Marcos. And reportedly they're looking for some of those extinct Tasmanian tigers.
Well, we're camping at Granville Harbour. It's an absolutely beautiful night. We've had a great day gold panning, but we have wallaby steaks on the barbecue. We're going to have a great night tonight. We're camping. We're going to wake up tomorrow in the sunrise, do some fishing, hopefully catch some breakfast.
There's nothing like the great outdoors to freshen up your mind and sharpen your soul. Marcos drives NASCAR for Toyota, and the Toyota folks shipped in 3 brand new 4-wheel drives for us to use on our trip. And I tell you, I sure was happy that none of those 4-wheel drives were mine, because we were pretty rough on them. Marcos had set up a surprise for us back in the jungle. We were heading about 5 miles down an old railroad grade to the gold mining town of Pellinger.
Smoochie loose!
Everybody on our trip wanted to race Marcos, me included. I kept wondering what Marcos had in store for us. As we went down the trail, I could smell gold, but I also smelled something else that had that familiar barbecue scent to it. Shrimps on the Barbie, mate. Marcos secretly had a ship come through Hell's Gate, down Macquarie Harbor, and into the jungle to set up a 5-course dinner for us that was absolutely fabulous. Shrimp, quail, scallops, all you could eat, and a cooler that was full of beer.
Cheers to the miners and piners.
Here's to Tasmania and her gold, and may she always be wild. Here's to Marcos. Good luck in your racing season. And thanks to you, the viewer, for tuning in here. And we'll see you again for another Gold Fever show. And bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
The good Lord put gold all over the planet for the small individual prospector to find. But it's not so much the gold that is the real treasure. The real treasure is in the life experiences that you have out there, the people that you meet along the way, and the stories that you take home with you. If you catch gold fever, it truly is a blessing, because it'll give you a passion for living life to its fullest.
What you got there, Chris?
Thirsty, are you?
Thirsty, are you? You're gonna look to fill those up?
You need to make